Hi, my name is Vanna Gonzalez. I'm an assistant professor in Justice and Social Inquiry in the School of Social Transformation at ASU. Tanya Wilson asked me to say a few words about VoiceThread based on my experience with this technology in my introductory statistics class for undergraduates. So I began teaching that course a couple of years ago, and what I wanted to do is kind of highlight a few key components of my experience with VoiceThread. So first, I wanted to explain what VoiceThread is and why I think we as instructors would benefit from using this technology, and also why I think it's useful for students. And then second, which is related, is kind of talk about how easy it is to use. And then the final part of the talk, I want to talk a little bit about what I see as some challenges in using VoiceThread and some ideas about how you can meet these challenges by incorporating some of these tips into your class. Basically, VoiceThread is an online tool that facilitates group conversation without having to install software onto your local computer, which I find to be a big asset. So on the site, they describe VoiceThread as a collaborative multimedia shell that holds images, documents, and videos and allows people to navigate presentations based on these media and leave comments that are shared and discussed with others. So I think VoiceThread is useful in a number of ways, but its primary benefits are three. Basically, it adds interactivity and dialogue into the online format. It's really easy and versatile to use, and also it's free. So those are three things that I kind of want to talk about in terms of the benefits and why we should be using this in our online courses. So the reason I use, the way I use VoiceThread in my introductory statistics class is to be able to give students an opportunity to introduce themselves and to get to know each other in this collaborative form. So more specifically, I asked them to share a few things about themselves and to address 4 specific questions. So first, why they've chosen to enroll in an online statistics course, what they think their principal challenges will be in successfully completing the course, and then whether they are presently working and are taking other courses, and approximately how many hours they devote to those things. And then finally, if they're not physically or geographically located in the greater Phoenix area, I asked them to indicate where they are. So students can answer these questions in a variety of ways. They can type in text, they can use their telephone or computer microphone or a webcam to make a little video in leaving a comment. And when students do this, they're able to either use an avatar that's pre-provided for them on the VoiceThread site or upload a picture so that people can get a sense of who the other people in the class are visually. It's also a chance to provide me an opportunity to get to know more about where students are coming from, to be able to respond to their concerns or address what they've said in future interactions. And also help them feel more comfortable in engaging in peer learning, which I think is an important part of a good course that's taught online. So let me give you a few examples. The first time I taught this course, I discovered that there were a number of people that had never taken online courses before and were really nervous about certain technological issues in navigating the course. So for example, how to use ExamGuard and what to do if they couldn't access something or they didn't know how to find it on the shell. So in learning that, it prompted me to give some more detailed instructions about how to find this technology, how to on the ASU site, and how to work through it step by step. Another example later on that I found is that in these these answers that students were providing, I realized that an extraordinary number of students were working full-time, and so that prompted me to make a number of adjustments. First, to provide tutoring options that were online, to be able to seek that out at ASU and make it very clear how students would be able to get that. Also to adjust exam schedules. People that are working 40 hours a week can't be expected to take an exam in a 9 to 5 period, so that caused me to kind of rethink how I was structuring exams. So those are kind of two examples of adjustments I was able to make by utilizing the VoiceThread as an introductory exercise. And other examples include gaining information that allow you to have more of a connection one-on-one with students. So for example, I had a student one semester that was pregnant and was due to have a baby at the end of the semester. So I was able to kind of be alerted to that situation and proactively help her figure out strategies to successfully complete the course. Another example is that people who are on Navajo Nation or not in the United States taking the exam often have certain issues regarding connectivity or time frame issues, and so instead of dealing with those when the problem comes up, we're able to kind of address that ahead of time proactively. So I think VoiceThread was very helpful in some of those issues. So moving away from my particular course, I think there's a broad range of applications for VoiceThread beyond this particular way that I use it as an introductory exercise. And I think that what I want to do now is just spend a couple of minutes talking about some examples. So for statistics or people that use it for a math application, I think it's useful to post particularly hard problems or problem sets that people have difficulty with in class and that they're going to need to try to figure out on the exam. And so by posting them and then having people interactively solve the problem, it really facilitates the peer learning aspect. Another example would be to use VoiceThread for current events. So if you have a class, I teach a class on economic justice, and so related to that topic, the Occupy Wall Street became a big phenomenon. And so if I was teaching the course on introductory justice, VoiceThread would provide an easy way for me to put the URL up on the site and then have people contribute to commenting on that with me auto-narrating over the URL what would be the interesting questions for people to address. Another quick example, I do a class that's an embedded class in the community in which students do videographies. So oftentimes it's hard for students to get together physically, but in voicemail you could post up the video and then have people, including the instructor, all comment for the student leader to be able to make appropriate edits. So that's kind of another example, 3 very different kinds of examples of how VoiceThread can be particularly useful. I think the other thing that beyond this kind of issues related to pedagogy in terms of why we would want to use VoiceThread, there's a whole host of pragmatic issues that I think would be interesting to highlight. So one thing is that it's very easy to use and it's free. So the free component is important because a lot of times there'll be software that's free up to a point, but here I think that you're able to do most of what you want to do without having to add additional add-ons, to pay for additional add-ons. So you're able to view and comment text in an unlimited way, and you're also able to have students comment for up to 10 minutes each session for free, and you can post up to 50 slides per VoiceThread if you have a PowerPoint, for example. And then again, if you want to upgrade, Pro account lets you to add different functionalities. If you want to add a full feature video, for example, you're able to use faculty development funds to do that. A second thing to highlight is it's very easy for students to use. And I think in this day and age, it's important to highlight. Sometimes we assume that the younger generation is very technologically savvy and they love new additions to the courses, particularly the online courses. But I've been surprised to find how easily frustrated people are when these technologies don't work. So one of the things that's very useful about VoiceThread is it's extremely easy to use, and you don't have to know a lot about any other technology to use it. So for example, if students don't have a video cam or they don't have a microphone on their computer, they're able to simply use the telephone to add their voice comments. And so that makes it a lot easier for students to navigate without having to worry about buying additional equipment or trying to figure out how to navigate the software. Also, VoiceThread is good, I think, because it offers not only a wide choices of how students can contribute, but also it allows for fairly easy navigation within the site itself. So you can choose to add pictures if you want, but you don't have to because there's avatars already available, so students just have to click and be able to start posting stuff. Also, the tutorials they provide are very easy, and they talk about different functionalities from making a voice thread to how to use the doodling function to how to set up a microphone. So it's very easy in that way. And the Q&A sections that they have, as well as the customer service desk, is very easy to navigate as well. For faculty, it's easy because you can upload a variety of media, from PowerPoints to videos to spreadsheets to plain Word documents. And you're also able to draw on them and to audio narrate over them in VoiceThread. So I think that that's a very easy process because you upload, you comment, and you share. And there's not a lot of other ways that you can get fouled up in trying to transmit your message. I also find it easy to use not only with Blackboard and Learning Studio, but also WordPress. I have another software that I use, and it's very easy to find the embed code and to upload VoiceThread into those other platforms. So the other thing to add is that you have a lot of control. Privacy is always an issue for me, and so I think that it's worth highlighting that you can choose whether or not you want people to download original documents or to export or to copy the documents you put up. So if you want students to be able to download to their mobile devices and have easy access, that is very easy to orchestrate. But on the other hand, if for copyright issues or other reasons, you don't want that media manipulated or sent out widely beyond the students that you're teaching, you can control that as well. You can also choose secure sharing, which means people browsing VoiceThread won't automatically be able to see the material that you've posted. You can allow people to do that. Or not. And so sometimes in my case, I've had TAs that have been designated as special individuals that can utilize the material and also change it through a co-editing function. But most of the material I've chosen to have as private to other people outside the class. Okay, so these are a lot of the positive aspects of VoiceThread. Now I want to wrap up by talking briefly about a few challenges or drawbacks that I've encountered and maybe a few suggestions about how to deal with them. So as with all software, there can be some issues with connectivity. So I haven't had any trouble with this personally, but this might come up for students working on home computers because their browser will need to accept cookies from a number of URLs connecting to VoiceThread. So that can be somewhat of an issue, but it's alleviated or mitigated by the fact that the VoiceThread site has very, very easy instructions to understand about how you enable the cookies for your browser. Also, each slide in VoiceThread can hold comments up to thousands of people, but after 35 people have commented, there's a pagination function that takes over. So the problem with that is sometimes you have a clutter on Blackboard or on Learning Studio, and so that makes the images very small, so you're really not able to view the pictures of students very well. So you want to keep that in mind for courses that have over, say, 15 students. Also, I think it's worth noting that it's easier on students when things are not mandated. For example, having to put a picture up or having to create a video, because one of the advantages of VoiceThread is they have a lot of options for students, and students can choose the things that are most comfortable for them. Regarding using VoiceThread, I think it's important to also specify some parameters, not only within Blackboard or Learning Studio, but also on the syllabus itself, to lay out clearly how you intend to use VoiceThread and what the expectations are with regard to students contributing to the assignments in which you're using VoiceThread. So this includes, putting the purpose of the technology on the syllabus, how easy it is to use. For example, they can use their telephone, they don't have to have a camera or a microphone. Also to specify how they're putting their names on their avatar. So oftentimes you want to grade these assignments, so unless you specify how they should put their names, sometimes they're using nicknames. And after I had done the course a couple of times, I realized I needed to specify they needed to use their last name and a first initial of their first name. So those are things that you would want to kind of work out ahead of time to avoid a lot of confusion on the assignments. Also, I think adding specific due dates and parameters, like how long you expect them to talk for, is very useful. I didn't do that initially and had people kind of talk for up to the limit of 10 minutes, which is hard when you're grading a course with 40 students. So thinking through those things before and putting on the syllabus is very helpful. Also, the first commentator is really important in setting the tone, and so oftentimes in leading by example, I'll have the TA make a first post to give people a model or an idea of the quality that we're aiming for in the contributions, also in terms of the tenor of the conversation online. So I guess those are a few of my overall points about VoiceThread. I hope that you have a good experience using it, and if you have any questions, Tanya will be there to answer them for you. Thanks.